G'day, Anthea here for Ant's Pants Pantry. Recently I saw a cooking segment on TV for a fish pie and it looked really nice, and it got me thinking that I don't think I've ever really had a fish pie. My mum used to cook her fish in the pan the same way she did chops, and I've never been very adventurous with my cooking, so I thought, well, Ant's Pantry is all about trying something that I haven't done before, seeing how the Thermomix will handle it. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to have a go at the fish pie. Fish pie with mashed potato topping. Okay, ingredients for 6 serves are some olive oil, 500 grams of boneless white fish fillets, 120 grams of smoked salmon cut into strips, a punnet of cherry tomatoes, some salt, pepper, a brown onion, a leek, and some bacon. Then there is a velouté sauce that goes over the top of that, which contains parsley, butter, plain flour, water, some stock paste, and sour cream or pouring cream. And that is topped by mashed potato, which has 50 grams of Parmesan cheese in it, a kilogram of floury potatoes, and a bit of salt, some milk, butter, and nutmeg, which is optional. So there's quite a few steps and ingredients, but I'm going to have a go anyway. So it says to preheat the oven, but I've looked through the recipe and you have to cook the mashed potato for 25 minutes, so that's plenty of time for the oven to heat. I'm not going to turn that on now. But I have greased my dish that the pie will go in. All right, place into the baking dish the fish fillets cut into pieces, the smoked salmon cut into strips, and the cherry tomatoes. Okay, so we put them straight in the dish. So my fish fillets were frozen, and that's why they still look icy. And I've chopped up the salmon, but it does say to put the strips 6 centimetres by 2 centimetres. I realise I've made them a bit small. That's the salmon, and now the cherry tomatoes, which I have chopped in halves. Spread them out. And what's the next step? Season with salt and pepper and then set the baking dish aside. And then we start with the filling with a brown onion, okay? That's my brown onion. 1 leek, approximately 110 grams, trimmed and cut into pieces. That's leek. 5 seconds on speed 6. Now we add the bacon. Yeah, I can see it's chopped up. All right, 120 grams of bacon. That's close enough. And insert the measuring cup. And 2 seconds on speed 4. Let's have a look. I think it looks all right. I mean, they say you can chop it again. Oh, no, I think that looks good. Scrape it down, get my spatula. Lovely. And next is the 30 grams of olive oil. We start to cook it. Minutes at 120 degrees, speed 1. For that last 30 seconds, you could really smell the onions sweetening up. Let's have a look. Okay. Spread the onion, leek and bacon mixture over the fish and salmon in the baking dish and then set it aside. And the next step will be to clean and dry the mixing bowl. That's going to give it so much lovely flavour. That's going to be great. All right, I'll scrape the bowl out and spread the mixture evenly over, and then get ready to make the saucy bit. There we are, nice and clean. And now we put in the parsley. 5 sprigs is quite a lot, but I think it is a 6-person serving, so, and parsley goes really well with fish. Okay, I have to get my lid that I washed. And 3 seconds on speed 7. Scrape down the sides. Oh, I love the smell of that curly parsley. Of course, you can use flat leaf if you like. That's what the recipe suggests. And 30 grams of unsalted butter. I've got a little bit more than 30 grams there. 30 grams of plain flour. Too much, I have to take a bit out. There we are, I've made it the same as the amount of butter. And 130 grams of water. And a little bit more because there's a little bit more butter in flour. Alright, 1 teaspoon of vegetable stock paste. It's actually quite rare to just use a teaspoonful. Most recipes call for a tablespoonful. That's alright, I'll follow the recipe. It says to see tips. Alright, let's just have a look quickly at what tips says. Oh, the basic cookbook has the recipe for vegetable stock paste. Of course it does. Now, 70 grams of either sour cream or pouring cream. Perfect. And insert the measuring cup into the lid. Five minutes at 90 degrees, so not boiling. 5 minutes, 90 degrees, speed 4. Transfer the velouté sauce into the baking dish over the onion and bacon mixture. Set the baking dish aside in the refrigerator. Oh, that looks beautiful. It's gotten quite thick. Alright, I'll scrape that out and spread it over, and then pop this in the fridge. Well, that really did require a thorough clean with the brush, I'm not going to lie to you. And I guess it's because the flour butter mixture was cooked. It was pretty sticky around the bottom of the bowl and the knives. So I know that people who use their Thermomix a lot more than I do sometimes buy themselves a second bowl blade and lid set, and I can see the advantage of that because that took a bit of cleaning. Anyway, it is clean and ready for the next step, so I'll keep going. Nice clean bowl. And now we put in some Parmesan cheese. 50 grams, cut into pieces. Nice clean lid, nice clean measuring cup. 10 seconds on speed 9. And as as usual with Parmesan cheese, transfer into a bowl, set aside, and it'll say rinse and dry the mixing bowl. So I think really the thing to do with Parmesan cheese is if you use it in a lot of recipes, and I like pasta, so I do use it, and you use it in risotto as well, another favourite of mine. I think really the key would be to do the whole block of Parmesan cheese and just store it already grated. It would save a step in these recipes. Anyway, I'll get that done. Now I've prepped some potatoes. These were actually organic potatoes, and I found they were quite green under the skin, so I've peeled them about 3 times. They still have a greenish tinge to them. Yeah, I've done my best with those. Next step is to insert the butterfly whisk. And that goes on that. We turn it and try to lift it. If it doesn't lift, it's secure. Yeah. That's it. That's a better position. Next is the kilogram of floury potatoes, cut, peeled, cut into pieces of 2 to 3 centimetres in size. All right, so I'll chop these up. There they are. 1/2 to a teaspoon of salt to your taste. 250 grams of full cream milk. Oops, a bit much. All right, they'll be soft potatoes. And place the simmering basket onto the lid. And cook for 25 minutes at 95 degrees, so not boiling, speed 1 just to keep it moving. Okay, I'm tempted to have a look. Okay, there are still some big pieces in there, but yeah, it has been mashing up and cooking. Interesting. All right, 30 grams of butter. 30. And 1 or 2 pinches of ground nutmeg. Now this is a bit surprising to me. I didn't know you might put nutmeg into mashed potato. So if anybody can tell me if that's what they normally did at home, I'd be very interested to know. And the reserved Parmesan cheese. So those potatoes were cooking at speed 1, which was just enough to keep it going around. And now we put the measuring cup in instead. The whisk is still in there, and it's 30 seconds on speed 3. Wow. So that process did shake the bowl around a bit, but I was here to make sure it didn't jump off the bench. And transfer the mashed potato into the baking dish, spread evenly with a spatula. I forgot to mention that I did have the oven on warming up while the potatoes were cooking, so I'll get that happening. Well, the texture of the mashed potato was quite easy to work with. It's sort of thick but also fluffy, and I tasted a bit and it's really, really nice. Scatter extra butter shavings on the top and bake for 40 minutes at 180. Okay, so I've just taken it out of the oven after 40 minutes and I could see it was still bubbling, so it is hot. I'm going to let that rest for 5 minutes, which is what the instruction says as well, and then have a taste. So let's have a look. Well, it's quite a big recipe, but I'm happy that at least I can say I have now made a fish pie, so I'll better give it a taste. It's pretty hot. I made sure I've got a piece of fish on there. It's good. Like, it is fish, but it's not overly fishy. And all the other herbs and vegetables in there make it really nice. So I'm pleasantly surprised. I wasn't sure what it would be like, and I'm going to enjoy my fish pie. Thanks for watching.